Hey, it's C3 Steakhouse here with a deck tech for a Bant life gain deck. Now, this deck's based around, Thragtusk, Rock's Faithbender, and Restoration Angels. I used to run a mono white exalted with Sublime, Rock's Faithbender, Silverblade Paladin, and Johnny called Pride. And I guess I just got kind of tired of mono. I wanted some diversity, some color, and I had a couple Thragtusk, one from an EDH deck I had built. And then one for just in my trade binder, and I thought, well, let's see what I can do with this. So I came up with this Bant life gain deck. For standard, any 3-color decks, you're really going to need Shocklands. So we're going to start off with the Shocklands. What a Shockland is when it enters the battlefield, pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. And I know what a lot of people think is, why do I want something that's going to deal damage to myself just to get land? Now the reason that I'm choosing a Shockland, like Breeding Pool, over a Guild Gate, Azorius Guild Gate or something like that, is because, like say Azorius Guild Gate, it says Land Gate. This is Land Forest Island, which means that any of the tap lands comes in the battlefield tapped and lets you control a X or X, this color, Plains or Island, Swamp or Mountain, comes in untapped because of the Shockland. So that's why we're going to run those. This deck's going to be based on 24 land. We're only going to run 3 Shocklands because instead of running 4 of each, there's 3 extra cards that are also non-basic cards, but not shock or tap lands that are going to be in here. So we'll start with Breeding Pool. The reason that these are just sleeves is because I haven't actually gotten the other Shocklands for it, but once I go to the card shop, I will. So there we have it. There's going to be 3 Breeding Pools, green-blue Shockland, 3 Temple Gardens, which is going to be the green-white Shocklands, and 3 Hollow Fountains, which is going to be white-blue Shocklands. So, 9 Shocklands. Now we're going to go with tap lands. There are going to be 12 of them. Tap lands, like I said, are so great because, for instance, Glacial Fortress comes to the battlefield tapped and lets you control plains or an island. Plains Island, Forest Plains, Forest Island. So, if I have either one of these on the battlefield, I can play any one of the lands and tap lands in my hand. So, we're going to run a playset of Glacial Fortress, white-blue, playset of Sunpetal Grove, which is tap land but green-white again, forest plains, forest, plains, forest. So like I said, we're going to run a playset of those and a playset of Hinterland Harbors, which is green-blue tap lands. And now next we're going to have 3 non-basic lands, but we're going to have 1 Cavern of Souls. The reason I love Cavern of Souls so much is because so many times you face, especially the control decks, you're going to face a control deck, you're going to play a big creature like a Thragtusk, and then someone's going to dissipate it or Essence Scatter. Well, with Cavern of Souls, if when I enter the battlefield I choose, Beast, then Thragtusk can't be countered, so that's always nice. Like I said, enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, add 1 mana to my mana pool, or add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool, and uses only to cast creatures of the chosen type, and they can't be countered. Also, a Rogue's Passage, add 1 of your mana pool, tap forward, tap it, target creature is unblockable this turn. That's really good with Silverblade Paladins or Geist of St. Traft, so we're going to run one of those. And last but not least, Alchemist's Refuge, which might be changed for another Cavern of Souls later, but right now it's a tap, add 1 mana pool of any color, generic, rather than any color, it's just a generic, and then tap a green-blue, you may cast non-land cards as though they had flash. So it's really good for late games. You want to keep your Zoe's Charm in case they, attack, but you're not sure if they're going to, but you also have a Thragtusk, so you have 7 lands, you tap a green-blue, they don't attack, you tap your 5, drop your Thragtusk, next turn you can attack with it. So, 24 lands, and we're going to go with creatures next. So, like I said, this deck is based around Thragtusk, Restoration Angel, and Rock's Faithbender. So, here we are with a Thragtusk. It's been probably the biggest card that came out of M13, even over, a Thundermail Hellkite, which is probably close, and maybe Thundermail's better. But I've just seen these run a lot more. They're half the price, so that might be why as well. But Thragtusk, 4 generic, 1 color, 1 green, sorry. And when it enters the battlefield, gain 5 life. The key is when it leaves the battlefield. When it leaves the battlefield, you put a 3/3 green beast. So if it's exiled, if it's killed, to the graveyard, anything like that, you get a 3/3 piece. So we're also going to run a playset of Thragtusk, and to back up Thragtusk from getting killed is his buddy, Restoration Angel. 3 generic, 1 white. Flash flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may, keyword being may, so you don't have to, but you may exile target non-angel creature I control, you control, and then return that card to the battlefield under your control. So we're going to run a playset of Restoration Angels, and just like with the Shocklands, I just need to get one more Restoration and 1 more Thragtusk. Next, Rock's Faithmender. Used to run this in my standard Exalted deck, but I found that it works very well with this deck. One, it's a 1/5, 1 powered 5 tusk. It's hard to get rid of. You don't really have to worry about Bonfire of the Damned. Especially being hard casted, which is another reason why I have Sigarda in here instead of sideboarded, but you'll see that in a little while. But 3 colorless, 1 white, 3 generic, 1 white, and then lifelink. Whenever you gain life, you gain twice that much, so it's really great with a Thragtusk or a Sphinx Revelation. So 3 of those. Now, one of possibly my favorite cards in this deck is Geist of St. Traft. It's a white-blue, 1 generic, hexproof, 2/2. When it attacks, you put a 4/4 angel attacking, exile at the end of combat. So it's really nice. So it's you drop it turn 3, turn 4 you're attacking for 6, which is devastating, especially against a slow deck. It's quite amazing. So we're gonna run 2 of those. Next, Silverblade Paladins, 2 planes and a generic, soulbound. When either enters the battlefield, as long as it's paired, both of those creatures have double strike. So we're going to run 3 of those, and that's really good with Thragtusk and things like Geist of St. Traft, because it deals first strike than regular. Common misconception though is, and I've seen a lot of times this get confused as tournaments, but luckily where I play we have really good judges. But if you attack with a Geist of St. Traft and they block with a 2/2, say it's a 2/2 wolf, well, the Geist of St. Traft deals first strike damage, so it kills the 2 wolf, but it doesn't deal its regular combat damage to the player. It just kind of dissipates itself. Unless it had Rancor, then it would deal first strike and then the rest would go through. But that's just a common misconception. Sigarda, Host of Herons. It's a 2 white, green, generic, 5/5 flying hexproof. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to sacrifice permanents. There's 3 reasons why I like this. Hexproof, so definitely difficult to get rid of. Got to worry about world spells. So yeah, Supreme Verdicts, control decks, but even so, then it's still nice. Its ability, having this out and spells and abilities my opponents control, not having me sacrifice any of these, is really nice. And also it's a 5/5, so again, kind of like with the Rock's Faithmender, really you don't have to worry about any Pillar Flames, Searing Spears, anything like that, obviously. And Bonfire of the Damned really isn't a worry, because getting it at the right time is difficult, and you're probably, especially against this deck, you'll never get to hard cast an 11 cost for Bonfire of the Damned unless you're getting a lot of mana out, and that would mean you're running green, and really, let's just say that you don't have to worry about that too much. Next, we're going to run 4 enchantments, Rancors, Must, and a Bant, especially with powerful creatures. 1 green, and enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. But the key with this is when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return it to my hand. So if I have it on a Thragtusk and someone's Supreme Verdicts, I just get to put this baby right back in my hand. So we're gonna run a playset of those. Next, we're gonna run 2 redirects, 2 blue. You may choose new targets for target spell. Unlike Reverberate, which is 2 blues, which allows you to copy an instant or sorcery, this just allows you to choose new targets. So if somebody, cultivates, you can choose yourself instead of them. If it says, target player draws 2 cards, you can choose yourself. Or if someone's Searing Spears, a Thragtusk with 3, you can choose new targets, 2 or 3/3 beach you control, one of their creatures, or a Sigarda, or something that's more powerful, Rock's Faithmender. So we're going to run 2 of those. Probably one of my favorite instants or sorceries is Azorius Charm. Blue-white, pretty self-explanatory. You can either choose target creature will get lifelink till end of turn, draw a card, or put target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Most of the time it's going to be used for its last one, but sometimes I'll all-out attack, and just to make sure that I'm not hurt next turn by them attacking me with, I don't know, like a Spark Trooper or something, I just have a Rocks on, I throw on a couple Thragtusk at them, give them lifelink, then I'm gaining, 10, 15, 20 life just from attacking. So really nice. Also helps with the little draw ratio, can draw a card if need be. So we're going to run a playset of those. Next card's going to be Sphinx Revelation. It's 2 blue, white, and X. You draw X cards and gain X life. Well, gain X life and draw X cards, but either way, tomato, tomato. Again, really great for lifelink, especially if the Box Faithman are out. You're low on cards. You literally the game. You pull one of these, you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, gain 5 life, draw 5 cards. Either way, you're gaining some life, getting the advantage by getting some card draw. So we're gonna run 3 of those. Next, Cackling Counterpart, 2 blue, colorless. You may copy, put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of target creature you control. This is really nice because I can copy anything from a Rock's Faith Mender to a Restoration Hand to a Thragtusk, Silverblade. Obviously not the Sigarda guys because it would just kill them. But it's really nice, especially for 3. So we're going to run 2 of those. It also has a flashback for 7, 2 blue and 5 generic, which still is not overly bad. And eventually I'm going to put a couple Snapcaster Mages in here, so that'll help with the Cackling Counterparts as well if need be. Next we're going to run Fog, 1 green, prevent all combat damage that we'd be able to discern. This is kind of just like a, I don't want to get overpowered, so I'm going to go ahead and Fog. Instead of a safe passage, which would prevent all damage to me and my creatures, Fog just costs 1 versus white and 2 generic. And the low cost, just to kind of save you a turn, is nice, so we're going to run 2 of those. And then next we're going to run Supreme Verdicts. It costs 2 white, a blue, and a generic. And what it does is it can be countered, again, very nice. And it destroys all creatures. So I enjoy a lot because it's kind of just, it's a board wipe. It's a, okay, let's go ahead and start over. Especially if Thragtusk out, let's start over while giving me the advantage with a couple 3/3s, or let's start over, but I'm gonna flash an Restoration Angel, so we're really starting over with me having a Thragtusk. So we're gonna run 2 Supreme Verdicts. So that'll wrap up the rest of the deck. The sideboard is still in progress, so we're not gonna get into that too much. But really, the sideboard's gonna be some elixirs to face against any mill, a couple rest in pieces, maybe 2 more Supreme Verdicts, a couple Intrepid Heroes, 3-drop, destroy target creature, power 4 greater, you just tap it, it's a creature, 1/1, so that's another possibility. A couple Think Twices in case draw power is getting a little low. But other than that, this is deck tech for a Bant life gain. So enjoy. It's done pretty well in tournaments so far, and we're gonna keep going to see how it was. So again, C3 Steak Sauce here with a deck tech for a Bant mid range. Thank you.